Ladies and gentlemen, politics is a game of tyranny of numbers and the strategies you employ to ensure that you secure a win in an election. It doesn't matter how good you are, how people like you, how popular you are. If you cannot convert this popularity into numbers, then it makes no sense for you as a politician. In this analysis, we want to look into the impact of Raila Odinga working with President Ruto through a memorandum of agreement and the possibility of Ruto securing a win if Raila Odinga goes ahead to form a coalition that will support President Ruto's re-election in the 2027 general election. And without further ado, let's get into it. So, the first thing I want to look into is the Raila Odinga strongholds. Are they still intact, or Raila Odinga is losing grip of his strongholds now that he is in a memorandum of agreement with President Ruto? Okay, let's start with the Nyanza region. Is Nyanza region still intact? Because this is one of the biggest Raila Odinga stronghold. Is Nyanza's region still intact? In the 2022 general election, they supported Raila Odinga. In the 2017, they supported Raila Odinga. They have always supported Raila Odinga. But in the 2027 election, should Raila Odinga go ahead to formalize a coalition with the President Ruto, the Nyanza region is not intact. And these are my reasons. Number one, Gusii region is now producing two of the strongest considered presidential candidates. That's David Kinani Maraga, the former Chief Justice, and Fred Okengo Matiangi, who is now very popular in the Gusii region. Do you think that the Gusii people will stop supporting their own sons and rather support not Raila Odinga now, support a candidate preferred by Raila Odinga, that's President Ruto? That's a very big no. So the Gusii vote is already gone. And this Gusii vote now extends from the Nyamira vote, the Kisii County vote, and some parts of Kuria. Remember that Nyanza is also made of a part of Kuria vote that has also a good number of votes. This is about 800 to 1 million votes that Raila Odinga is losing from the Nyanza region. The second region that has been very popular, supporting Raila Odinga for quite a very long time, is the Western region. Actually, we have ODM members of parliament in the Western region. We have an ODM governor in the Western region. Oparanya has always been elected on the ODM ticket when he was a governor of Kakamega. So ODM has been very strong in the Western region. Is ODM still strong? And Raila Odinga's popularity, is it still viable in the Western regions of Kenya? Because second thing that we must put into consideration is that Western region is the second largest region in the Republic after the Mount Kenya region. Another thing I have to say is that Western region is no longer, or as to the 2027 general election, will not be as popular as it was in 2022 in supporting the Raila Odinga bid or the Raila Odinga popularity. Number one, NATEMBEYA is moving on with the Tower movement. The likes of Peter Salazar have been conducting rallies from county to county, depopularizing the ODM party. I think you came across those rallies if you are a follower of Peter Salazar through his handles. And it was pulling good numbers in the Western regions. The likes of Cleo Malala are people who are also pulling clouds in the Western region. So, as per Western region, at least Raila Odinga has not lost a lot of grip, but it won't be as strong as he was in 2022 general election because of the fact that, number one, there was that thing of finance CS going to Oparanya, but instead it went to the Nyanza region, something that also the leaders from the Western region have used to decampaign the Raila Odinga and the ODM party. I saw Peter Salazar talking about it. And also, the second thing is that the people of Western, just like any other Kenyans, have been hit hard by the challenges that the country has been facing. SHA not working. It's in Western that Peter Salassi addressed President Ruto and told him that SHA was not working. And the education funding model, these people are also facing the same criteria. So it won't be, the ODM party won't be as popular as it was in 2022 general election. And now that it's now working with the government of the day, you can tell me what you think about Western region, especially if you are coming from Western region. Do you think that in 2027, the popularity and the strength of Raila Odinga in Western region is intact as it's been before? Or Western region for the first time is putting its foot in one basket, or it's rather taking a different direction? However, President Ruto will try to utilize some leaders from the Western region, that's the likes of Musalia Mudavadi, who's been serving the government, the likes of Wetangula, likes of Oparanya. At least President Ruto will try to utilize these long-term known leaders of Western region to at least get some votes, and especially if they are going to work with Raila Odinga. The third region I want to look into is the Nairobi region. Raila Odinga has been getting quite a good number of votes in the Nairobi county and the Nairobi region entirely. Do you think that Raila Odinga is still strong in the Nairobi region? Raila Odinga will be only strong in 2027 in the Nairobi region, as per me, if he is on the presidential ballot paper as a president. But if he will be supporting any other candidate, then his strength is a bit to question, because Nairobians are the people who are hit hard, other than any other part of the country. These are the people hit hard by the economy. Here is where demonstrations have been happening. Here is where people feel they eat all the things that Kenyans talk about day into day, about how they are suffering. So Nairobi, I don't think. Second thing about Nairobi, young leaders like Sifuna, Babu Wino are very influential in the ODM wing in Nairobi counties. If these young leaders will be taking a different direction, then the ODM party will not be delivering a significant number of votes to President Ruto come 2027. So those are the Raila Odinga strongholds. I'll be talking about coast in a different video, coastal region. But remember that coastal region voter turnout was very low in the 2022 general election. They have a registered voter tally of 1.9, about 9 million votes, but only 900,000 voters turned out to vote. 1 million people never turned out to vote in the 2022 general election. That's about 50%, 55 about percent not turning out to vote in the 2022 general election. But I'll be talking about the coastal region. But one thing that comes out clear from all this strength I've been talking about Raila Odinga and how he's maintaining his strongholds is that you can understand that Ruto really depends on Raila Odinga in the 2027 general election. Because I don't want to talk about Mount Kenya region. As per me, Mount Kenya region is gone, and you can agree with me. They cannot pull a comeback, as we call it in football. There is no comeback that can come out in the Mount Kenya region. They can pull in other regions, but for Mount Kenya region, with the mood that is surrounding that region, the only thing that can work for them is the divide and rule. Maybe having a lot of presidential candidates trying to divide that vote, because it forms about 30% of the votes of the republic. So divide and rule maybe, but Mount Kenya is gone. A comeback in another region, but Mount Kenya is gone. Now, what I was saying is that you can see from the entire of this analysis that President Ruto entirely depends on Raila Odinga. Baba, the statesman. Baba akiamua kusema left, then things will take quite a complicated direction in 2027. Baba akisema nasimama, nataka mnisupport, I don't see any chance for the government of the day. That's why Baba is now the kingmaker of the 2027 presidency. Whenever the direction he'll be giving is the one who will be giving life to that direction, especially in government. He will be supporting President Ruto. Raila Odinga is a very good politician strategically. He can maintain some votes from his strongholds. At least that competition can be worthy. But without Raila Odinga on their side, then it's going to be very difficult. And remember that already the Raila Odinga side also is facing cracks, especially I said in the Nyanza, where we have been seeing Orengo eating her that they should not support the president. The other day he was talking about eating some function. Sifuna coming out to address it publicly that he has always said that for him he's not going to support the government. Babu Wino said the same, and these are Raila Odinga, some of the most followed leaders within the ODM party and the Raila Odinga side. You can tell me what you think in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take my time to read and give a response. Otherwise, stay safe whenever you are. And if politics is what you like, this is the home where you should be. Hit the subscribe button and leave a comment in the comment section. Stay safe and be well. Have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen.